Hey, this is Scott Bonsai. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about trying to be effective with your time. I'm actually doing something today, getting my car worked on, brought some equipment. I didn't bring a lot of stuff, I just have the action camera and an extra microphone. I'm going to go over a few things that I feel work decently well, at least in my case, with being productive. One is avoid certain things that can pull that time away. Now, in my case, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, which is good and bad. Kind of difficult because you watch the next one and the next one, which is kind of their thing and kind of the benefit and the negative together. Also, I've been avoiding video games for a long time, but I did pick up the Master Chief Collection on the PC, which, I've waited for that for a really long time. So it was definitely something I wanted to eventually pick up. And I played through the stuff that's available. So it's actually good that in that case they're releasing the games one after the other and there's like a time gap. So it's good that I can't keep spending time on it and I don't want to replay it, at least at the moment. Games definitely are a big time sink for a lot of people, but I have been pretty good at avoiding it. Another thing is I try to switch off between what I'm doing. Sometimes you're really not into doing a specific thing, in that case maybe video editing or going out into 100-degree weather Fahrenheit. So I switch off. One day I'll be writing the notes for a video or the information that I'll put in a video, and then I'll actually go and film it another day, or maybe I'll do the editing over 1, 2, 3 days and then give it a break for editing. And I've also found switching off to something completely different, but it's still productive if it's kind of in the same realm. In my case, I've written a few photography books. A convention one on Arizona. I've been out there for a few times. I have some family, and I do photography usually when I'm out there. Also, I'm writing something, basically the general outline, and I've started filling in some of the actual text. That's a nice thing to switch off to because it is something completely different, and I should actually get into more computer stuff, more software programming, which I haven't done in quite a while, which is not good, but my degree is in computer science. One thing I did mention in a poll is that I was thinking about doing build guides for PCs, Windows PCs, so all the components, what I think would work well given a certain cost for creative work specifically. So I'm talking photos and videos, mostly videos because that takes a lot more of the computer usually than the photo side. I probably do that. Of course, I don't have the budget to actually build those things, but we'll see how it works out. A good thing to do is mix exercise with doing any type of work or whatever you consider work, because it does help get your mind clear, it gets the blood flowing, it just generally gives you a better state of mind, at least in my experience, when you get some type of exercise. So when I do the videos going out taking photos, that's kind of a combined benefit. One, I'm able to make some type of video out of it usually. 2, I'm able to get the exercise. 3, trying to enjoy photography, which is another benefit, of course. And the video stuff. It is definitely a combined benefit. A lot of the things that I do lately are related to making videos. It helps with motivation to have a purpose. So in the case of my purpose is trying to make this channel something special and useful to people, entertaining, and with that comes the motivation to go out and do stuff. Photography specifically, a lot of the time, but talking like this or video-related things in the general genre that I decided for that specific channel. I do have some other channels that I don't put much time into. Back when the YouTube Partner Program changed to where you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours per year to be in the program, I had one channel that was doing decently well, like $20 a month AdSense revenue, but that got cut off. It's hard to justify the time when I should be putting it into this one instead. One challenge I found with making videos, especially with popularity, is that I do want things to be popular, I do want things to be viewed. A lot of people, of course, are interested in the technology and the gear, things like that. And when you don't have a huge audience, it's harder to access things because 1, the budget isn't there, 2, companies don't care as much. But there is a lot to it, just trying to find that motivation. It is difficult, definitely, and all of the positive comments help a lot. The negative ones definitely don't help. One thing I noticed with YouTube and how they changed their internal admin thing is that it shows comments you haven't responded to. And in my case, I respond a lot. So a lot of the negative comments once I don't respond to, and then they stay in that comment admin area, and I see them over and over and over again, and it gets pretty taxing to see those. Because generally I don't like deleting comments unless they're super crazy, extreme, like attacking me type of thing. So if they're just relatively negative, I tend to leave them. One thing I do also have on with the admin stuff is that any links go into a holding area. So links are never automatically displayed in my comments. There's so many people trying to post Amazon affiliate links, things like that, and it's just super impolite. One thing I need to actually do less of is look at the stats for videos, because it doesn't change a lot. I can tell that YouTube has some type of caching mechanism with their admin stuff. The only thing that really updates a lot is this one specific amount of views per 2 days metric. Besides that, a lot of the stats don't change for hours at a time, as far as I can tell. And I spend way too much time looking at that, even though it doesn't change. It's just a thing I need to convert my brain to, is to not do it as much, because it's just a waste of time. Before the virus outbreak thing, I was eating out a lot, almost once a day, which isn't great, of course, and it was expensive. I could be more effective because I make something simple, and I probably try to integrate that more into what I do, at least if things go back to easily being able to go to restaurants and not having to worry. The reverse is that when I went out to restaurants a lot, it's the big outside walking around, things like that, where there is an added benefit to going out to eat. And if you do stay home and make your food, you're kind of only doing one thing instead of doing two at the same time. So that is a slight negative to me. I do like trying to do multiple things at once when I can. Just a quick talk about this DJI Osmo Action. It is pretty nice, but there are some caveats that I've noticed. Even if you're using a large SD card that is formatted in the EXFAT format, I've noticed that the splits with the DJI Osmo Action, the audio is off, because I have a full audio recording externally, and I notice even when the clips are butted together perfectly, there's an audio sync issue between the 4 gigabyte pieces. So that's a hassle that I'm dealing with, especially now because I'm using the external recorder to have the extra benefit of decent, higher quality audio. Now, the Osmo is not bad, actually. I think I can, in general, get a good audio recording out of it, but it doesn't isolate as well as something like this. And the stabilization is very nice, so that I can integrate more clips that have motion, have action to them, where the cheap junk action cameras that I've bought in the past, they work decently well on a tripod, not moving at all. They're just not good for that. In this case, with the stabilization as it is, which it's all digital, but it's high quality digital, it works well enough that I can integrate stuff. There are drawbacks, but the size is a nice benefit. If you can be bothered to use ND filters, variable ND filters with your full camera and a larger aperture lens outdoors, you'll get that nice blurred background, but it is a benefit to actually be able to see and recognize what's happening back there. Especially with creative work, it is challenging to get out there and do it one little thing at a time does help, and piecing it up into groups or little bits of work definitely helps as well. Like yesterday, I edited a video non-stop, but I found that little piece of motivation. I rode with it, and it helped a lot to get that video edited and published. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this talk. Something different and simple. I'm Scott Photography Bonsai.